and welcome to NAFDAC and Your Wealth. My name is Tosin Omolaja. This is the program that brings you all the important information you need to know about NAFDAC. The agency is saddled with the responsibility of safeguarding our health by ensuring that the foods, drugs, cosmetics, and medical equipment made available to us are safe and wholesome. On today's episode of the program, we focus on the activities of NAFDAC in enhancing quality partnership between local manufacturers and international companies, which has helped improve the capacity of local manufacturing pharmaceutical industry in the country. In sustaining good manufacturing practices in Nigeria, NAFDAC, as a regulatory agency, has been able to implement several strategies that have increased the level of quality manufacturing practices as well as partnership between local and international pharmaceutical manufacturing companies in Nigeria.
Partnership. Very, very important to our manufacturing industry, pharmaceutical manufacturing industry in Nigeria. And there are two different types of partnership. You have multinational companies partnering with local companies. That is happening now. About a month ago, we celebrated the partnership of GSK with Fitsin. We had already done that of Sanofi with May and Baker, maybe 18 months ago, before the pandemic, or before the pandemic. But this just didn't happen overnight. It happened because we now use international best practices, international standards to assess our companies. We started the GMP, Good Manufacturing Practice Roadmap, 2018-2019, where we actually went through 165 companies. This was also funded by USAID and through USP. And what we did there was to assess how compliant companies are in terms of international best practices. And we used 21 indicators. 17 of those 21 indicators are based on quality management system. Only 4 are based on the site itself, the pharmaceutical manufacturing site, which means quality management system or having quality system in a pharmaceutical company, very, very important. And I've mentioned it in different places. You cannot give what you don't have. It is because we have gone through quality management system training ourselves. So we are able to understand better what it means for the industry. So that resulted in categorization of our companies to category A, B, and C. Risk-based categorization. A being low risk, C being high risk. Again, I mentioned that it is not punitive. It is to let the companies know that you are deficient in A, B, C, D, and you have to correct them. And that has done wonders for our own companies because the companies that are in category C want to be in medium risk, and the ones in category B, medium risk, want to go to low risk. And that is exciting to multinational companies. So they now can see, okay, we want to work with you, can we talk and whatnot, and that is what is resulting in multinational companies. And that is helping our local companies because their capacity is improving, and their product can also be sold globally, because these companies that are coming from US or UK, they are bringing their own culture and international best practices to work with companies that we have already rated, low risk or medium risk. So it's a win-win. The second type of partnership is contract manufacturing. Through contract manufacturing, meaning a company from overseas that has been making a particular product, and we have put those products under ceiling, meaning we will no longer have them imported again, because we have some companies that are already doing that in Nigeria. So they can partner with such companies. Instead of importing, now they will be manufacturing with a company that is already existing. So that is contract manufacturing, and that is also good. Whether it is through multinational big partnership or contract manufacturing, it is good for our own economy, aside from good for the health of our populace, because it increases the confidence level, knowing that our companies are improving on a daily basis. What the GMP roadmap has done also is that few companies that are in category C and that felt that the corrective actions are too many, some of them are now building new structures, because they felt that the money that is going to take to correct an old building or old culture or whatever will be too much. So they started fresh. That is very, very good for the pharmaceutical industry. Some companies, again, out of the category C, we actually shut them down because we gave them time to address their corrective actions or their deficiencies. We gave them plenty of time and they didn't respond, and we shut them down.
As part of NAFDAC's mandate to ensure that drugs of quality standards are made available for Nigerians and also to ensure a healthy nation, the agency is doing a lot in terms of regular inspection to ensure compliance to quality drugs production.
Every country must have a strategy to grow their economy, whether it's through import or through local production. Even WHO has realized that the best way for access to safe, quality, and efficacious medicines is through local manufacture. You know, when the companies that are domiciled in Nigeria have more frequent regulatory visits from us, the regulators, unlike the ones abroad, I don't have that opportunity to carry out a random visit to their facilities, to ensure that they are complying with GMP, unlike the local manufacturer. And so at any time I am sure of the quality of products that are coming from the local industry more than what is coming from abroad. But that does not mean that the products that are coming from abroad do not meet quality. It is that local production will, in addition to quality, increase employment opportunities.
Having local pharmaceutical companies produce medicines of standard quality becomes a concern as the clamor for the growth of local pharmaceutical companies is put on the front burner. CGMP becomes the solution to the risk of proliferation by unwholesome drugs.
Basically, GMP, which is good manufacturing practice, is a system that ensures that the products we take consistently meet quality standards. Now, the C in front of it means that at any point in time, a facility's GMP, that's the good manufacturing practice, must be current. It is a mandatory process. It is a very transparent process. It ensures that there is transparency. It ensures that products are repeatable. In other words, that your processes are repeatable. It ensures that your processes can be investigated. If there are no checks and balances, we all want to make the maximum profits possible. This is an international process. It's practiced all over the world to ensure that the products meet standards of identity. What is most interesting about the GMP is that you have designed quality into a process. It eliminates a lot of risk.
NAFDAC and your health will be back in a moment. Please stay tuned.
Beware. Fake or damaged drugs have put many people in serious health harms and have killed many others. But you can protect yourself by seeking professional healthcare advice when you feel unwell. Buy drugs from only licensed pharmaceutical outlets and make sure you check the packaging for poor condition, spelling errors, and unclear labelings. Also, check NAFDAC registration number, batch number, the expiry date, manufacture date, and manufacturer's address before paying, and always collect a receipt. If you suspect a drug to be fake or damaged, report immediately to NAFDAC on 0800-162-3322 or send an email to sf.alert@nafdac.gov.ng. Protect yourself and your loved ones. This message is brought to you by NAFDAC with support from WHO.
Welcome back. If you are just joining in, you're watching NAFDAC and your health.
In its commitment to put in place an improved Nigerian pharmaceutical industry, formidable enough to bring about a drastic reduction in the nation's dependence on imported drugs in quest for quality, NAFDAC put a number of measures in place to help the local pharmaceutical industry grow.
One of the ways we ensure compliance or help industries by producing guidance documents, which basically helps them know or rather understand what we're thinking, help them understand the processes, help them understand what they're expected to do. And that way it increases compliance. And also, from the inspections we've carried out, we've tried to, put a roadmap in place for some local industries to help them transit from rudimentary GMP practices to WHO requirements, which is more internationally recognized. And we also have carried out a survey, and the survey on capacity utilization of the local pharma industry. The outcome has shown that they have installed capacity to make a lot of products. And so we will make that available to government so that government can promote or rather patronize them, so that they can source the local drug needs from local manufacturers.
NAFDAC identified gaps after monitoring and helps the companies to bridge the gaps through capacity building, trainings, and workshops. They also share their inspection reports with the industry at large so that others can also brace up.
We've realized that the sharing gives a lot of visibility to the inspections we carry out. It also helps the companies comply with the CAPA, their CAPA implementations. And in addition, it also helps them take informed decisions on many other things, that we help them upgrade their performances. Part of what we also do to ensure compliance is, this dialogue, stakeholder meetings. We hold a lot of stakeholder meetings with the industry because we found out that it is not all the time that you have to apply punitive measures, that we also have, a responsibility to help them understand some technical aspects of what they do. So we do all that just to help grow the industry.
A courtesy visit by the Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Group of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria to the Director General of NAFDAC was to discuss ways to grow the Nigerian pharmaceutical industry, among other issues. The agency has sanctions and punitive measures in place when the local manufacturing companies are found to be non-compliant. These include, but not limited to, seizures and prosecution.
Depending on the outcome of the inspection, in other words, the seriousness of the inspection, we could, issue warning letters to the industries. We could also put the products on hold. We could seize also the products. Or in worst case scenarios, we take them, prosecute them in the court.
Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, since her assumption as the Director General of NAFDAC, has visited several pharmaceutical manufacturing companies across the country. This is to help improve drug security in Nigeria, and this can only be achieved if the country is able to produce a significant amount of the medicine its population consumes. NAFDAC across the country has carried out several activities to ensure effective compliance to good manufacturing practices by local pharmaceutical manufacturing companies in the country in a bid to fulfill the agency's mandate of safeguarding the health of the nation.
In Ilorin, we are doing our best to ensure that the good manufacturing practices, which is supposed to be a precondition for product registration, is adhered to strictly. We ensure that factories or facilities meant for inspections are usually inspected in line with the agency's operating procedures, and samples are properly drawn. We take them to the lab, and when we have satisfactory reports, we also, for those of them that are going for the MSME zonal approval, we schedule them for zonal approval, and we do this approval on a monthly basis to ensure that we meet the 60-day timeline of the agency's requirement, and to ensure that the MSME products are not unnecessarily delayed. And also those that are going for the full approval in Lagos, we ensure that the reports and other requirement documents get to Lagos on time for the purpose of registration. Apart from registration, we also do post-market surveillance activity. And post-market surveillance activity we carry out to ensure that the products in the market or being sold are of the same quality and the same way the manufacturers have offered it to us or explained to us that that is how it's going to be sold in the market. We draw samples from time to time, turn to the lab to ascertain the quality. At the same time, too, we also carry out enforcement activity. You know, in any society, they are always deviant. So for those that are not wanting to adhere to the rules, we carry out enforcement activities, and we confiscate expired, unregistered, and other unwholesome products from the market from time to time, at least to ensure that the consumer gets best quality of regulated products. Apart from the MSME product, we also regulate drugs, cosmetics, medical devices, and we ensure the safe handling of chemicals, and for those who are using chemicals for their different production activity. Whenever they apply for chemical marketers license, they also apply for permit to import this chemical. We ensure that they have the right quality personnel on ground. We ensure that they have the right quality facility, and we ensure that the consumption pattern, the record of the consumption is maintained the way the agency wanted to maintain, to make sure that some of these chemicals do not find their way into the wrong hands. In fact, we have close to about, if my memory is correct, about almost 15 factories where they are making different types of veterinary products, and we ensure that these products are registered, and we regularly carry out routine activities in this factory to make sure that the manufacturers are keeping in line with the statutory requirements of good manufacturing practice, and also with the rules concerning One Health policy, where antibiotics are now being controlled. We'll make sure that the formulation they are using does not go outside what the agency has approved in terms of using antibiotics. In Ilorin, we have quite a number of drug manufacturing factories, and also we have those ones making medical devices, and we have a lot of them too. We normally work together with the Directorate of Drug Evaluation and Research to ensure that the quality standards are maintained for drug products. More than ever before, manufacturers, particularly the MSME group, have come forward, because the moment I assumed office, I had lots of stakeholders meetings with the stakeholders. We encourage them to come forward, and the enthusiasm and the zeal, with the support of my zonal director in the North Central Zone, Mrs. Bolaji Abayomi, MNI, we work together to ensure that the number of MSME products have grown to a tremendous level. We are doing well. The agency, under the leadership of the DG, Professor Modisola Christina Adeyeye, have really supported us. I remember we were having lots of logistics issues, but with the coming of the new vehicles they have given us, has really enabled us to reach out to far hinterland that were hitherto not covered before. We may not have all the resources we need, but with what we have on ground, we try to spread it to ensure that every sector and every area gets the best of what we have on ground in terms of manpower, in terms of our professional skill, and in terms of knowledge-driven approach to manufacturing, to regulation, and product distribution.
That's it for today. Make it a date, same time, same station, next week for a fresh edition. In the meantime, if you have comments, complaints, or you want to report activities of fake drugs or adulterated food product peddlers, our doors are always open.
You can reach NAFDAC via toll-free numbers. For inquiries, call 0700 162 3322. For complaints, call 0800 162 3322. You may also email NAFDAC at nafdac.gov.ng. If you have complaints about any form of misconduct, you can reach the Reforms Unit via email reforms@nafdac.gov.ng or call the Reforms hotlines on 0909 763 0506 or 0909 763 0507. NAFDAC, customer focused, agency minded.
NAFDAC prioritizes customer satisfaction, which is why our motto says we are customer focused, agency minded. Kindly visit our website to fill a short customer satisfaction survey to help us serve you better. Remember, COVID-19 is real. Please ensure you and your family follow the safety measures as outlined by the NCDC. Stay away from crowded places as much as possible. And if you must be out there, please wear a face mask. Wash your hands regularly with soap and water and ensure you use only NAFDAC-approved alcohol-based hand sanitizers. See you next week. Stay safe.